You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
Boss, you opened it. We came.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you Meatloaf? Surprise, Sydney.
Thank you for joining us on How I Met Your Monster. We are starting a brand new series of movies for you all. We just wrapped up our Goofball sequel series, which I wish could have gone on for at least 3 more movies.
I don't think I could handle another
I
Goofball
agree.
sequel.
Wait,
I wanted to get significantly goofier.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But now we are on to, again, something dark and scary for each of us personally. We're talking about phobias, and we're covering movies that deal with our biggest phobias. Is it biggest phobias? Is that correct? Is that biggest fears?
Yeah.
Worst fears, biggest phobias, most
Yeah, biggest
aggressive phobias. Let's pull out that
Yeah.
Yeah,
thesaurus.
however you want to say it.
We'll just list off a bunch of words.
Words like arcudophobia.
Yeah. What is that? Fear? We determined that was fear of bears.
I thought you were going to say fear of ferrets.
I love ferrets.
What happened to your dog? It's not a dog, it's a ferret.
What can people be afraid of fear? Is there a phobia of phobias?
Oh, I'm sure. It's probably called phobia. Yeah.
I'm phobia-phobic. I hate the fact that people are afraid of things. So that would make you kind of fearless, right?
It is called phobophobia.
So you're afraid of fear.
Phobophobia is an extreme fear of being afraid.
That is a little contradictory. Right? Or am I just like, what were we talking about the other day? A hat on a hat? That is the definition of a hat on a hat. Phobophobias. Now I want to take back, there's got to be a movie that matches up with a fear of fears.
Fear with Mark Wahlberg. And I was going to say Renee Zellweger. Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Isn't that a famous quote, though? The only thing to fear is fear itself. Was that Churchill or something?
Yeah.
That's me and my education. Was it Churchill or something?
Pretty soon you're going to start talking about fucking dates and the Stone Age and when the pyramids were built.
Do you have a problem with the fact that I know things,
No,
sir?
no, I don't.
Do you have a problem?
I have a
Do you have a
fear
problem with
of you
smart
knowing
women,
things.
sir?
I don't. No.
My phobia is Casey being smart. Your intelligence.
Well, you better get the fuck out of here
Ca-
then, bud. You be scared.
Casey
of me.
cranial. No, not cranial. I was just trying to using a word that cranium, brain. Casey.
Neuro.
Casey brain phobia. Oh, there we go. Casey neurophobia.
Okay, so guys, I'll be the first to admit I'm scared of spiders. So
You bitch.
naturally, I picked arachnophobia. What are some other spider movies that are out there? Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yeah.
Well, Casey thought we were doing, not to throw you
did.
under the bus, Casy, but
No,
you thought we
it's
were doing
okay. I had
Eight-Legged
never
Freaks.
seen arachnophobia, and I thought that you
That's
guys
wild.
said Jeff Daniels, and I thought to myself, I thought that was David Arquette, and then I googled it, and I was thinking of Eight-Legged Freaks. So
Which is also a fun movie.
They
But,
are
like-
doing.
Yeah.
I had mentioned they're doing a remake of Christopher Landon is directing a remake of Arachnophobia, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to get
really?
David Arquette to play the Jeff Daniels role.
Oh, that would be fun.
That's full circle, but I don't know
Interesting.
what the circle is pertaining to. It's just a movie that's also about spiders.
But the thing about like Eight-Legged Freaks which is like not that scary. Like it's fun and creepy, but like because they're giant, and it's
right.
like
It's also
okay,
very
yeah.
not. You're afraid of regular spiders.
yeah,
You're not afraid
Yeah.
of giant spiders because they don't exist.
right.
Yeah.
And my other fear, there was another phobia that I wanted to pick, but I couldn't really find a movie in the horror space that went with it. But it's like the fear of going to jail for something I didn't do.
Like confinement.
Or like,
okay.
I guess,
Are you
like-
kidding? Double Jeopardy.
yeah, that's not a horror movie. There's no monsters
ever
in
seen
that.
it?
I have seen it.
There's a monster in that. That man that gets her fucking put in prison. That fakes his own death.
Isn't it Bruce Greenwood?
Oh, I think so. That sounds familiar.
Okay, so you have the fear of being falsely accused. I did a quick Google search of that, and I couldn't find if like there's actually a phobia for it.
Okay. Well,
You know?
maybe I could name it. The don't send me to jailophobia.
Incarsophobia?
Incarsophobia. Yes, incarsophobia.
You know what?
Carson Daly
Well, that
phobia.
would just be the fear of being incarcerated, which
Oh,
well, that's
not necessarily the same thing.
wrongfully
You
incarcerated.
could have done Ernest Goes to Jail.
Oh, that's a good pick.
okay. So, what about you guys? What are some phobia movies or what are some phobias that you have that you didn't pick for this upcoming series?
Artificial intelligence.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's creepy. Like robots.
Like, robots, but robots that, the uncanny valley where you can't tell, if they're humans.
I was
Or,
going to say that's very relevant with the writer's strike right now. Screenwriters are also afraid
It's
of
very
AI.
relevant with
Ooh.
a lot. Yeah. Matt was using Chat
Mhm.
GTP and it somehow knew like stuff about me and stuff about the cats that like he didn't tell it.
Oh,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
weird.
Like,
Yeah. He asked it.
like
he
that
asked
Archie
it-
has no eyes.
He said, write a poem about my cats. And it knew that the cats were black and white. It said, write a poem about my cat named Bart. And it said something about Bart's green eyes. And he said, write a poem about my girlfriend. And it said something about my blue eyes. And I looked it up. Brown eyes are the most popular.
Ooh, so it's
So
watching.
it's not like they just went off.
That's weird.
But yeah, so I almost picked Ex Machina and Fear of Artificial Intelligence. But I watched Ex Machina anyway.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, good.
It's a good
So-
one.
There's also like Terminator and Megan, which I haven't seen yet. But
Oh, that would be
people
fun.
always are like, "Why are you afraid of artificial intelligence?" And my answer is always, "Have you seen Terminator?" So
Skynet, anyone?
yeah, hello.
No, it is scary. I mean, shit, the stuff that it can do now.
And and it's not like necessarily, I guess, the artificial intelligence that's inherently scary, but definitely if the wrong people get their hands on it, which they inevitably will.
Oh, sure.
So-
yeah.
If someone is greedy and wants money, their motive already by default is probably not
It's theirs,
savory. Yeah.
right?
Danny, what about you? What's another fear? Because you picked claustrophobia for this upcoming series and the movie Devil. So what are some other fears that you have that you kind of were toying with picking?
Some other phobias. Well, I should point out I thought it was kind of funny that I chose devil, even though the phobia theme for my choice was supposed to be claustrophobia, but it makes it seem like I'm like afraid of the devil, which I guess is a fair fear, but it's not. It's claustrophobia. Some other movies that I was kind of throwing around were actually one that you pointed out. I think you were surprised I didn't choose The Descent.
Mhm.
I was surprised
Was it
that
you?
you didn't choose
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I would have chosen that one. The only thing is I still haven't seen it. Devil. I've seen The Descent a few times, so I wanted to just shake it up a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
I was also told that the movie As Above, So Below is a good movie for claustrophobia.
Oh, okay. I heard that was good. Yeah.
And then it just became a case of like choosing between the two, and I just essentially flipped a coin. I did have some other. I have like a severe phobia. I don't know if it's a phobia. It's more just like a fear of death, but like
That's a phobia.
of gas leaks. But no, specifically of like a stove gas leak. I must have just had that fear embedded into me growing up because I am like terrified of it to the point that I cannot go to bed unless I am positive the stove is like set, like off.
Do you ever turn on the stove just to turn it off? So like that you turned it off?
I went through a phase where I did that, and I was told like you need to stop because it's just going to get worse if you keep like feeding like feeding that fear. And I was like, you're right. Yeah, it's a little obsessive. So I have to but I've gotten better. I will say I've gotten a little better. But I was going to pick a movie that was sort of kind of pertained to that phobia, but I couldn't really find anything. It's such like a niche fear.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, let's think of a movie that has to do with just like a gas leak in general. So I was thinking of Return of the Living Dead, which I also haven't seen. So I'm not even sure if that fits, even if I was kind of stretching the definition of a gas leak.
Yeah, I think so.
Almost did that. But
well, it's like gas. It's not like a stove gas leak.
Yeah.
But I think it's, if I remember, I know this happens in one of them. I think it's the first Return of the Living Dead, where it's like they got this barrel from the army that says like, do not open. And they open it. And like all these fumes and gas comes out and it goes up into the air and then it starts to rain. So the rain like pushes it back down into the ground and it soaks into the cemetery and they start coming up. That's either the first one or the second one. I can't remember, but
okay, yeah. And as far as other phobias, I also am terrified, more grossed out by cockroaches. So we were almost going to watch Mimic, which is a great movie.
Or Joe's Apartment. We were talking about Joe's Apartment.
Yeah, terrifying. So yeah, but I chose Claustrophobia and Devil.
Joe's Apartment is the first movie that I saw in the movie theater by myself.
Really?
That's so funny. Answer me this. Is Joe's Apartment the first movie that features singing cockroaches?
Probably the only movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
They do sing, right? I have like a...
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they sing. Yes, they do.
So yeah, our coulrophobia is the phobia that Casey, you are going with. That is the fear of bears.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of people might have that.
Yeah, but mine's irrational, like to the point where I can't go camping.
Sure.
I should maybe save this for when we watch Backcountry, but I have some stories about being terrified in the woods.
Oh no!
Definitely save that.
Yeah, so
you'll have to tune into our Backcountry episode to hear that.
It's
story.
like a phobia that's real, that like affects my life in that way. No, on a daily basis, obviously I can go outside, I'm fine. But I used to love going camping, and I used to go, when I would camp, I would sleep in a hammock. I wouldn't even sleep in a tent. And then one night, for some fucking reason, I couldn't stop thinking about bears while I was camping, and I was never able to go again.
Damn.
Someone gave you a bear hug in the woods, and you were like...
It was... I still remember the night that I was scared.
So nothing just triggered it? It was just like...
No, I just went camping,
your
and I'd gone,
imagination
like I said,
got carried
I'd
away?
gone camping. Yeah. I was, I was scared, and my partner at the time, I kept saying like, give me the machete. He's like, shut up and go to sleep. And I'm like, no, I hear a bear. He's like, if there were a bear out there, you would fucking know it was a bear. It's not a bear.
It's weird because like camping itself is inherently scary. It's, I remember I did it once in Colorado a few years ago and I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking someone was just going to open our tent and kill us. I was like, wow, this is so not relaxing at all.
Jason.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Okay. Maybe
well, and that's funny because we're talking about our phobias here and you guys are like, I can't fucking sleep because I think a murderer is going to get me. I think a bear is going to get me.
You're afraid of spiders?
I'm just scared that the fucking spiders are going to get in the tent. And then you
but they
wake
could
up,
kill you.
You wake up in the morning and like the sun's shining and you see like a silhouette of a spider that's like on the roof of your tent and you're like, fuck.
I like spiders.
Yeah, I have grown to be more comfortable with spiders.
I like spiders. They're cute.
Although I don't, you know what I don't like about spiders the most?
Hmm.
It's when they're hairy. I don't.
Oh. But I like the
like
hairy
that.
ones are the bigger ones, and then you can see where they're going.
Yeah, but you
So-
can also hear them. You can hear their little footsteps.
They're
You
so
guys.
cute.
Well, we're going to get into these phobias a bit more in our upcoming series. We will be covering arachnophobia, backcountry, and devil. So make sure to tune in over the next few weeks to hear more about these things that scare us and potentially scare you. And we want to hear what scares you. So let us know. Email us at Zach@HowIMetYourMonster or find us on social media on Instagram and Facebook at How I Met Your Monster and on Twitter at I Met Your Monster. And until then,
Go fucking face your fears, motherfuckers.
Oh, face your fears if you dare.
face your fears and go meet some monsters.